Let's talk for a bit about Google Analytics and how to use it. Now, I strongly recommend that you do use Google Analytics. It's a free tool, and I go into detail about how to set up your account and link it to AdWords in a separate lecture. But now I just want to take you through some of the reporting options in analytics. And it's such a robust tool that this is not going to be a comprehensive overview of it. It's so robust that you can actually get certified in Google Analytics, which I am certified in how to use it. And even with a certification and using it daily, there are still areas that I don't use very often because there are just so many options and so much data available. So obviously first we need to log in, and we can do that at analytics.google.com. And I've already created an analytics account for this example website, so we're automatically logged in there. Let me go ahead and get rid of that tooltip, make this easier to view. Okay, so the way it works is somewhat similar to the AdWords interface. Up here at the top, you have some different options. Admin is where you go to link analytics and AdWords, to set up some different things, a bunch of different options here. Reporting is where you go to actually view your data. And home is a page that shows you, let's say those preferences. If you had, say, multiple websites, you could see all of them listed in this page here. So let's go into this account. And here on the left, Google has categorized lots of different types of data. And I'm just going to go through these quickly and give you a tour. You can create dashboards if you want to see specific data frequently. So it's kind of a time-saving option. You can do also shortcuts if you want, a similar time-saving option. I don't use shortcuts very often, but it's there. Intelligence events. You can check this to see if analytics notices something about your data that it thinks is strange. So say, for example, your conversion rate has been consistent for a while and suddenly it drops, which might indicate that your conversion tracking code stopped working. Well, the intelligence events area might tell you about that because it sees some odd anomaly in your data. Or you could create some custom alerts. Got some options there. Real-time is a very neat tool. It's especially helpful if you're testing things on your website to see if it's working properly, if analytics is tracking data properly. It'll tell you information about people who are on your website right now. So it'll tell you how many active users you have. It'll tell you where they're from. It'll tell you, where they're from in the country as locations, where they came from channel-wise and traffic sources, whether from direct to your website or from social media or from AdWords, etc. It'll tell you what pages they are looking at. It'll tell you if they're firing any events on those pages. So, for example, if you have events set up to be fired when someone clicks on a button, or maybe when they spend a certain amount of time on the website, then you can see what's firing right now from here. And also conversions. You can see it'll show you the list of goals that you've created in the admin tab, and if people are triggering those goals, you'll see the number over there. So real-time is a neat option. Audience gives you a bunch of information about the people who are visiting your site. And overview, you can see this kind of gives you an overview of some different things. You can see demographics of people, so age, gender, and this is only if you have enabled the demographics and interest reports, which I mentioned when I talked about setting up Google Analytics. You need to tweak your privacy policy if you enable this, but I definitely recommend doing it. It's worth the slight trouble to make that happen. Under interests, you can see what Google thinks people who are visiting your site are interested in. You can see affinity categories in market segments. That terminology is very similar to what AdWords has in their display campaigns. So in analytics, you could look and see, hey, a lot of my visitors have this specific affinity audience. Maybe we should target those people in Google Display and see if we can get more people like these engaged people to our website. So those are the options under interests. Under geo, you can see information about people's languages and geographic locations, which is very helpful. You can see where in the world they are. You can drill down into state, city, etc. Under behavior, there's some different information about new users versus returning visitors. So, how many new people do you have versus how many people are coming back to your website again? How engaged are they? Some different options there. Technology, you can get some information about the browsers they're using, the networks they're using. Mobile, this is super helpful right here. You can get information about how many people are accessing your site via computers, via phones, and via tablets, and then what the different conversion rates are, bounce rates, pages per session are per device. That's super helpful. That's audience. Under acquisition, acquisition tells you about where your traffic came from, how you acquired the traffic. Obviously, there's an overview, so you can see some different graphs here. And then under all traffic, you can look at channels. And channels will tell you kind of overarching things like paid search is a channel, social media is a channel. You can segment your data by that. You can look at source medium. So, for example, traffic from AdWords, the source is Google, and the medium is CPC, which stands for cost per click. From Facebook, you would see Facebook as the source, and you might see CPC if you're running ads, or you might see organic if it's just organic traffic coming from Google or coming from somewhere else. So this is a very helpful tool here. And then referrals, you can see what websites are sending you traffic. So it's very neat. There's a separate report for AdWords, since obviously Google runs AdWords as well and wants you to make the best use of AdWords as possible. So you can get data about campaigns. You can see tree maps, which is kind of a visual sense of what campaigns are performing best or have the best bounce rate or whatnot. You can take some look at bid adjustments that you're making in your AdWords account. You can look at the keywords in your ad account. You can look at some of the search queries. Now, one note here about search queries: Google Analytics does not display many search queries. Typically, it only displays search queries that might be your brand name or very generic search terms. But if you want a true search term report, you'll need to look in your AdWords account. And that is because of some personally identifiable information issues that Google doesn't want to face when they pass information over to a website, to your website where you're hosting things. You can look at information based upon hour of day, upon the URLs that they're visiting, information about your display targeting, your video campaigns, your shopping campaigns, and so forth. You can also see information about SEO, search engine optimization, landing pages, some queries, geographical information, etc. Same thing for social campaigns, and then maybe any other campaigns that you have, like email campaigns, organic campaigns, so forth and so on. A lot of great information under acquisition. And then the behavior tool here, behavior talks about how people behave on your website. So you can learn about the content that they're viewing. You can learn about how fast your website is. If you have the right code installed, you can actually see what they're searching in your search box or search bar on your website, which can be very helpful for figuring out new pages you should create on your website, or even new keywords to target in your AdWords campaigns. You can take a look at events that might be fired on your website, publisher pages, experiments, lots of great stuff there. And then the last one here is conversions, which is where you view data about your conversions, which are also called goals. And you can view information about all your goals here. Under source medium, you can tell where they came from. The goal URLs, basically the URLs where people were when they triggered the goal. You can look at reverse goal paths to see what pages people hit before converting. You can look at funnels. You can look at goal flows. Lots of really neat stuff there. And then if you're an e-commerce website and you've installed e-commerce tracking, then you can view product performance and sales performance, transactions, revenue, all that kind of stuff right there. Under multi-channel funnels, a couple interesting things. For example, assisted conversions gives you a sense of what channels are assisting conversions in other channels. So, for example, maybe someone sees a PPC ad and then they come back and see an organic listing and they convert after clicking the organic listing. You can get a sense for what your kind of assisted conversion data is from this report here. Top conversion path is something that we use a lot for our clients at the agency I work for, and you can set the different data here. Let's set the path lanes to all. So you can see data about a specific channel or a specific source medium. So for example, AdWords, one thing we look at is how much revenue did we drive, or how many goals did we drive from people who saw an AdWords ad at any point in their journey. So maybe they first clicked an organic listing and then got to your website and then came back and clicked an ad. Or maybe they clicked an ad first and then they got to your website later from an organic listing. All that information is right here in the top conversion path, which is going to give you a better picture of the overall value of your advertising channels than some of the other reports that you might look at. Time lag, you can see how long it takes for people to come back to make a conversion after first hitting your website. Path length tells you how long their path is, or how many interactions they have with different advertising ads or just different channels before they converted. And under attribution, you can do some pretty advanced stuff here. You can create your own models if you want to, create different models for attribution if you want to, see the value of a channel if you count where it was the first thing that somebody saw before getting to your website, or the last interaction before creating a conversion, so forth and so on. All that to say, Google Analytics is a super tool. Once again, it's free. It's incredibly robust. I definitely recommend that you use it. And if you use it, you'll just want to dive into the reports and figure out what makes sense to use for your specific website. And hopefully that overview is helpful to you to streamline that process and kind of give you a tour of all of your options.